Good evening, Fulfill for Life family. This is Pastor Ronald, and I want to come to you right now, and I want to give you an update, not only regarding the church, but also regarding just the condition of the land today. Many of you might have heard that our president has issued a state of emergency. Many of your children's schools may have closed. Many venues and events have been canceled or postponed, and all for the sake of protecting the local citizens regarding health care. So as pastor of Fulfilled for Life, I want to encourage you that this is about protecting you during this time while we remember the victims of this very serious virus that is attacking our land today. And our hearts go out to the victims and to the families who have been impacted. People are sick, people are trusting in God, and I want us to join in with prayer for everyone who has been diagnosed with this virus, that not only will they live, but they will make a full recovery and they will not spread the virus to anyone else. We also want to realize that this particular event is not really new to the world. There have been events like this before, and even in scripture, I'm reminded to share with you about how in 1 King, Jezebel was going after the prophets of God. And Obadiah, an aide to King Ahab, had told him, look, when Jezebel was persecuting the prophets, I took 100 of them and I hid them in caves. Why is that significant? Because sometimes the Lord will provide a refuge for the children of God while things pass over. And likewise, I will remind you of the time when there was a great flood on the earth. The Lord took Noah and his family and he shut them in the ark until the dry land had appeared. So he had let the storms pass first. But in the meantime, they were tucked in or shut in. And lastly, do I need to remind you about during the plagues of Egypt that the Hebrew children, while the death angel was passing, the Lord had commanded them to put the blood of the lamb on the doorpost, and it passed by. But they were shut in as households and family, but it passed over. So what I want to do is advise all of you and recommend that through prudence and wisdom, while walking wholeheartedly in faith, that we take the advice of our healthcare practitioners and those who are trained in the medical profession to try to guide us and to protect us during this particular healthcare crisis. Now, as we wind up this particular time, I want to remind you about the Springfield Center. The Springfield Center is not a place that we have full control over. So some of the aspects as far as ensuring the cleaning conditions, the requirements that we need to meet, and other protocols, I don't feel we have enough control to ensure that to really force a gathering. And so although we might meet some numbers as far as our size to gather, I don't want us to expose our families unnecessarily so. I think we can do well by taking heed to what some of the trained professionals are saying to protect ourselves and our families. Now, as far as Sunday worship, I will be live streaming at 9:30, and we will have an upload later on YouTube every Sunday for those of you to participate. And I want you to participate because, listen, those of you who have been tracking with us, you will recall that we have done some very significant teachings on end times. And so some of you are well educated. Some of you who haven't been exposed to those teachings, you might want to check our catalog and just listen to that. This is what I believe the Lord referred to as the beginning of sorrows. Just where times start to fluctuate and the church really is going to come alive in revival as a result of what's going on. So be encouraged, saints. Please tune in this week at 9:30. I'm asking you not to congregate this week. We want to suspend all activity for this week. And each Friday at 6 p.m., we will have an update on our website. I want you to know how much I love you. I want you to pray for each other and pray for the many people who are being impacted right now. This is not fear, and this is not anxiety. This is faith in God. Jesus said, if you believe in God, believe also in me. So we want to believe in him, and we want to trust in him, and we want to know that he is covering us with tremendous grace and favor, even in a time as this. I also want to remind you, please contribute and donate to the ministry. While we're not coming together live, we're still coming together just virtually. And that's important because when this passes over, and it will, we want to come together strong and quickly. And I want to admonish you all to lean into the presence of God. Take time. I didn't know this was coming, but I had been admonishing the church to take advantage of 60 seconds of quick worship, daily minutes of prayer and focusing in on God and speaking words of power. I want you to do those exercises and believe that God is Lord of Lords and Kings of all kings. Be encouraged, my family. I love you so much. And until we meet again, be blessed and be encouraged.